Body shalom, shalom. All right, so we have another topic. This topic is the same topic I talked about a lot of times before when I first found out the truth about this topic. It's a lot of stigma, a lot of what they call it, taboo around the area of incest, um, or whatever the case, which is my case, one of my cases, because from a child, you don't know, you don't know what's right and wrong, actually. You're just doing what you're taught or doing what you're told, doing what you see. And if no one ever tells you you're wrong, you don't ever feel like it's wrong. It's not necessarily like you feel the shame of it being wrong. You just feel like it should be a private thing. Like, oh, it should be private. Everybody should know. But I don't feel like it's wrong. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it, right? And if we knew it was wrong, we would either never do it or we would actually be guilty and not ignorant, you know? So we're in America today. And if you're talking about using biblical references, I will. But I'm talking about myself in this one. So, yeah, I got to talk about myself in this one again. I did a video. The video was called Who You Can Marry. That was what the video was titled. Who You Can Marry. And because everybody loved to say who you can't marry. You can't marry this. You can't this. You can't that. You can't be with this person. You can't be with that. So who can you? So that's why I made the video. Who you can marry. All right. And I was talking about Wayikra, chapter 18, and weeding out all of the people you're not allowed to see nakedness. Who could you see nakedness? And so just putting it in context. And when it comes to this, you don't want to over speculate. You don't want to assume and stuff like that. You want to be sure, or you want to leave it open. Because if you're not really sure, you should say that you're not really sure, but you leaning towards a certain kind of way about a thing. And that's the scholarly way. So let's go into, I'm going to use Aksamak Tazawa's lesson. For some reason, something was leading me to listen to this lesson, his Shabbat lesson. Also, I was feeling the energy already earlier this morning about who I thought were my cousins, Simone and Samantha, when we were growing up as children. Time to put this out here. But for some reason, everything is highlighted about just them two. But it's more than just them two. It's been like they don't know that everybody's looking at them, understanding where they're coming from. So let's just put it like this. So as a child, I was like 8 years old. That's when it started for me. When I was 5 years old is when I was exposed, but I didn't know what I was looking at. So I was 5 years old. My uncle, Lamont Gibson, had a sex tape, but it was a porn tape, but I didn't know it was VHS. It was unmarked. I'm 5 years old. I'm assuming it's a Disney. I only came in to use the bathroom, and then I went to go back outside. I saw a TV in the room. He normally doesn't have a TV in his room. I was like, he got TV now? So I went in the room because we shared the same room. Went in the room, cut the TV on, nothing on TV, no cartoons or nothing. So I'm like, it's a VHS, bro. It got to be a Disney movie. And my child mind is always 100% a Disney movie, So I pops it in. It's not a Disney movie. Well, I probably don't know what it is. So I'm watching it, waiting for some cartoons or waiting for something. I'm thinking like the Disney sing-along song. I'm like, I'm gonna get a yo-ho or something, Pirates Life. I'm gonna get something, so I'm gonna wait for it. Maybe I'm gonna get a sing-along. So I'm not knowing what I'm gonna expect. So I'm watching it, and it turns out that it was crazy. There's a guy, he's in the like a autopsy room, and one of the girls is on the table, and he's having sex with the girl that's dead, a dead body or whatever, and she has the toe tag, and he having sex with her. And right when he climax, she wakes up and scares, like, into the camera and scares the camera or whatever. And I got shocked because I didn't know what he was doing. In my 5-year-old mind, I'm thinking, okay, he probably doing CPR. I remember what he was doing, but I did not know anything. I didn't understand enough. I'm like, oh, he's definitely giving a CPR. You resuscitating her. So I'm watching like, oh, I'm going to watch. Now, of course, I'm not horny because I don't understand what sex is like. So I'm like, I don't understand to get horny. So I'm like, oh, man, he about to bring her back to life or something like that. Or he trying to help her. So then he climax and busts a nut, and I'm like, oh man, I hope it worked. So then it's like, then she pops up in the camera and scares the camera. Like, why she do that if he trying to bring her back to life? That's stupid. I was mad because I'm like, man, this ain't no Disney tape. This is a stupid tape. He trying to bring her back to life. I was like, I'm gonna tell my friends. He trying to bring her back to life, and she gonna scare him and try to scare him and stuff. After he try to bring her back to life, he try to help her and stuff. I'm not knowing that he's having sex with a dead body, and it's completely stupid for him to do that, right? So I go back outside mad, tell my man I was watching this Disney tape, man. I thought it was a Disney tape. It wasn't. I was like, this guy was trying to bring a girl back to life, and he gonna scare her. I was stupid. I'm like, and nobody really paid attention to me because it's like, whatever, you couldn't put it together. I couldn't put it together. I couldn't even interpret what I was looking at. I just told him like that. He was a doctor trying to bring the girl back to life. I'm like, but she did come back to life though. But why she had to scare him to make, like, that's what that's what I'm thinking, like, that's what she gonna do to him after he bring her back to life. That's disrespectful. That's how I was thinking. So that's for a 5-year-old mind. I was staying with my grandmother at the time. Like I said, my uncle, I was there. Like I said, my mother wasn't in my life, so I wasn't living with my mother. She had abandoned me by that time, so I'm staying with my grandmother. And Uncle Mark was still in high school at the time, so bam, that. So that was the first time I was exposed to anything sex, but I did not understand what I was looking at. By the time I turned 8 years old, I'm still blank-minded. Now, in our time, there was no such thing as internet, and you didn't see porn tapes and stuff like that. You know, like I said, I was exposed to that, but I didn't understand what I saw. You didn't see that on cable TV or regular TV. You had to pay for stuff like that. You know, you had magazines. You still had to call the number, whatever the number was on the TV to buy stuff. Call this number 1-800 something something. If you saw some kind of commercial about some product you can use, you had to call the number. You couldn't go online. So it was no way possible for a child to be exposed to anything sexual unless a parent or adult or some elder person had left it available for them to see, and then you saw it. So that was the only way you could ever know. Or a big kid or somebody elder touched on you or something like that. Now that was my case. How I ended up understanding a little bit about. I didn't really understand still, but I was doing what I thought in my childhood mind what I was supposed to do. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm not just talking about this just to talk about this. I'm talking about this so that you can see and understand a child's mind, a little boy child's mind about all of these things he's experiencing. Not for you to be like, but you this. Yeah, but I can do the same fucking thing to you, you know? And be like, well, you did it and you just did it, and just ignore everything about your experience of living and how you understood things. That's not how people are judged, especially children. Children don't know enough to be judged actually like an adult. Children don't be knowing what the hell they doing at the time or what they seeing, or they're not exposed to the world, so you can't judge children. At least in our time, you could not judge children like you could today because we did not understand or had a clue about anything. Everything was taught to us or trained to us some kind of way. So 5 years old, then finally 8 years old come, I'm staying with Carlise, Dorian, and Wayne, and they were living, I forgot where they were living at, but they lived right, the backyard was like right where a graveyard was, like right across the alley was a graveyard. Like, what the heck? And it was a very highly spiritual area, but I just didn't understand spiritual things at that time. But I was getting a little bit affected, but they were very affected by it because they were always peeing in the bed. So the spirits and stuff would always come and mess with them and make them pee in the bed, nocturnal, whatever. They always peeing in the bed and stuff. And so I'm thinking today in my elder mind, now knowing more, I'm thinking that she was trying to protect me, you know? And I know that that's what she was trying to do. She understood something because they kept peeing in the bed, pissy drawers everywhere and things like that. And I did not want to sleep in the bed with Dorian. Wayne, he peed in the bed. At that time, still he was peeing in the bed. I'm like, man. And so I slept on the floor, but even the floor had pissy drawers everywhere. So no matter where I laid that in Dorian and Wayne's bedroom to spend the night, to hang out with my cousins, it was pissy drawers everywhere. So I was like, nah, I'm going. So I'm getting out of here. All right. So, well, I didn't say I'm getting out of here, but Carlise, my cousin Carlise, she comes to her door in the bedroom because they was making a lot of noise, and she was trying to tell them to quiet down, stop making so much noise. And then I was telling on them. I was like, Carlise, they peeing in the bed. She was like, y'all peeing in the bed. Like, no. She was like, Ray, you pee in the bed? I said, no, I don't pee in the bed. She's like, come on, you can come stay in here. Y'all pissy, da 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 da, whatever the case. She said to them, because she's the oldest, right? And so I go into her room, and Sophia, my sister, she's in the bed sleep, and I gets in the bed and I gets in between her and Sophia, and I'm like, I like try to go to sleep, and I'm about to go to sleep or whatever, because like I really was sleepy, and they pee everywhere, and they just wasn't going to sleep and bouncing on the bed. I was like, come on, man. So I was happy. So I lays down, I'm sleeping, and she's like, Ray, and then this, she already talked about it. Please trust the process. I'm gonna bring it around right. It's gonna be brought around right. So I just got to get it out so people can understand the past versus now, and then it's gonna be a surprise. Okay, it's gonna be a surprise at the end of all of this, but let's go forward. So, I'm there, right, and she's teaching me how to suck breasts. So she was like, have you ever sucked titties before or breasts before? I'm like, no. She's like, you want to? I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. So she's like, all right, get on top of me. I'm like, okay, just get on top of her. Now what I'm supposed to do? And she was like, now get under my shirt. So I get up under her shirt, and she don't have a bra on. And then I'm like looking on her breast, and they're like, you gotta suck the nipples. I'm like, it tastes stale. Like, don't taste right. It tastes nasty. She's like, just suck them anyway. I'm like, man, all right. And I just kept doing it. And then she was like, that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, that's what we supposed to do? Oh, okay. Well, we supposed to do that. Then okay, I'm gonna do it. But it just don't taste good. That's why I wasn't wanting to do it, because it don't taste good. It wasn't, I was thinking it was wrong. I was thinking that because it don't taste good, I don't want to do it. So I'm sucking the breast and sucking the nipples anyway. And then she's like, you can go down to my vagina. I'm like, go down to your vagina. I'm like, okay. So I goes down to the vagina, but I'm not even struggling. But when it smelled like pee, I was struggling. Like, oh no, it stinks. Smell like pee. She was like, do it anyway. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. Like, cause it smelled like pee, and she was like, just do it. And she was like really doing it, like telling me to do it. Like, I'm like, all right. So I do it. I'm like, it stinks, trying to hold my breath, and then I tap my tongue on it. I'm like, it tastes nasty, girl. She was still trying to hold me down there to suck her pussy or whatever. Now, in the child's mind, yes, this is a new experience. The first time you ever experienced doing something like that before. That was my first time experiencing that. I was 8 years old. Now, it was nothing to cry for, nothing for you to be like, get mad or be boo-hooing about. Today, I think different about it. Like, today, I don't care if it would taste like piss. I would suck the shit out of her pussy today. Now, why would I say that so aggressively like that? I know something y'all don't. Y'all just still stuck in y'all mode because, feelings and emotions, but you don't know what's right and wrong actually. I do. That's why I calmed down and why my life is clean now. I don't have those problems y'all have, like, still you're fucked up in the head because you never read the Bible and you don't really know what's right and wrong, and you didn't dedicate your life to understanding if you was right and wrong too. You're just still emotional. So you're still stuck. Me, I'm not stuck. I know what's right and wrong now. So anyway, bringing it back. Yes, today, if Carlise wasn't married and whatever the case, and she was still single, and I seen her and we start burning, I'm straight trying to get her pregnant. And I'm trying to suck the pussy. I'm trying to get my dick sucked. I'm trying to bust the hardest nut in the mouth and all that. And not care. Not care at all. And then I'm going to try to marry her. Try to really be with her. Because I understand today. But that time, the only reason I didn't want to do it is because it tastes nasty. It wasn't because in my mind, I felt like I was being raped. It just was like, it just tastes nasty. Like, can you wash it? That's what I was thinking. Like, can you wash it? Or something to make it taste better or smell better so I can, do it the way you want me to do it. So, yes, I wanted to do what my cousin Carlise was trying to get me to do because she's my cousin and she's older than me. She's a big kid. Always listen to the big kid. So I wanted to do it. So I was trying to. It just was the taste and smell. So that's all it was. And then you talking about 12-year-old, 8-year-old. Your hygiene isn't the best at 12. You still trying to learn how to, get yourself the hygiene straight. You still got to learn deodorant and things like that. So you're not that old. You're still young. So whatever the case, that was my experience, 8 years old. So from leaving Carlise, I went back into the boys' room, and she was like, you want to go back? And I said, yeah, I want to go back in the boys' room, only because the pissy taste in her vagina. Otherwise, I would have stayed. I would have stayed there. But Kia had came. She came up the stairs because she heard me. Came up the stairs. What's going on? Break into Carly's room, open Carly's door. And she's like, Carly, let me talk to you. No, let me tell you about da-da-da. And I was just laying in the bed like, and while Carlise was talking to Kia, I'd creep over top of Sophia. She's still knocked out sleep. I creep over top of her, climb down off the bed, and be like, I'm going to use the bathroom. She was like, all right, because Carlise was real strict. She's looking at me like, you better not go nowhere. You got to finish sucking my pussy. That's how she was looking. I'm like, I'll be back. I go into the bathroom, use the bathroom. And then I run back in the boys' room, but she's talking to Kid, and she looking at me like, oh, I'm gonna get you later. And I'll go back in the room and she was like, why you ain't go stay? I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. I never told them what happened. I just like, that's okay, man. Kid and there, Sophie and I just want to sleep, man. So I slept on the floor, and whatever the case. And late the next day, my cousin Dorian probably understood what happened, and what he did was he lied to me. He was like playing the trick on me. So in his mind, he probably was feeling some kind of way emotional, but not realizing that, it wasn't something that I was expecting or wanting to do. But so I did not deserve a penalty for whatever he was feeling. You just was feeling that. It's like I was a grown man and Carlise was young and I was making her do stuff to me. No, she was making me do stuff to her. So I didn't deserve what he did. He had an iron. He was like, the iron. I'm like, no, man, move the iron. Probably hot. He was like, no, the iron not hot. It's not hot. So I'm gonna just touch your skin with it a little bit. I'm like, it's not hot. He's like, no, it's not hot. I'm telling you, it's not hot. Trust me, man. Trust me. You promise? I promise the iron is not hot. So then Dorian, he touched my arm with the iron. I still got the scar there, but it's real light. He touched my arm with the iron, and I was like, after you said it wasn't hot, and then I'm like, why you lying to me? So it was hard for me to trust Dorian again. It was hard for me to want to hang out with him. So I was wanting to be around Wayne more because Dorian did that. But I don't understand. It probably was because something that happened with Carlise or whatever. But I'm not the guilty party, So you got to judge right. And when you're talking about judging, you have to put judgment in the right perspective. It's always a two-way street, You can never say everything is a one-way street. You can never put everything on the male of the situation and exclude women. You become a simp, or you become you're overly protective over women when you don't realize that women could also initiate things. So that's what men need to stop doing. Stop being imbalanced with your judgment. Make sure the case that you're dealing with specifically is a straight case, before you try to use references and scriptures to try to point fingers, because then you don't know the story for real, and you could be looked out. You can be, you could be the dummy in the situation, and then you're being exposed, just talking real crazy. Because your assumption is men is crazy, right? But you're not balanced. Already knowing the scripture says don't have respect to persons when it comes to judgment. When you go to court, you must hear both sides. You can't just take the woman because she's loud and aggressive and she's real spicy. But then you got to start asking questions. Well, how come you're always spicy about something, but the other person never talked either? You never talked about this with the other person there in a cordial setting, or in a setting where you can't get up and get aggressive and fight. You got to talk, but, stuff like that. When things start to sound right or people start to talk, you want to spaz out and get aggressive because, and you got to start sitting back, realize, hold on. If you're not letting the person talk and you're the only person always talking and being aggressive, maybe it's something about you or something that you're trying to hide actually about yourself. So maybe I need to sit back and really notice if it's you or not. But the thing be so secretive in people's minds, you never think to talk about it. You think that it's, you're a grown adult, but you feel like, I don't want to talk about it, man, because it was a traumatizing thing when I was young, and so you think that you're supposed to keep it a secret and stuff like that. Anyway, let's bring it out. Continuing on. So 8 years old, but like I said, so when I left my cousin Carlisa's house, or Andrea house that time, my guardian came to get me. He had left me there. He had left us there. Left me there for a day. I forgot how long we was there. But then he came and got us and went back to grandma's house. Then I started seeing my cousins, as we say cousins, because like I said, my guardian. I'm not his son, actually. So as I always knew to be my cousins, Simone and Samantha, they used to come around grandma's house all the time. Now, there's another part is that my cousin John, we're more like brothers, but he don't know the full story. He don't know the details of the years and years of him not being around and how his sisters actually are, or how they became, or that everybody in the family how they look at Simone and Samantha without him knowing. Like, he could tell, but he wasn't there for the details. High five wasn't the only thing. It got worse than high five. You're not realizing. So these two people in the family, Simone and Samantha, became the aggressors of the cousins. And they could say anything, do anything, get aggressive, spaz, and anything they say, people follow it or believe whatever they say. Just by how they come off with the aggression, with the tone of voice. It's like Samantha got this little grizzle graspiness in her voice, so that when she says something spicy, it got the grizzle in it. And then when it hit the cousins, the grizzle hit the cousins. Man, I don't know. And so it hit the cousins right in the spizzle. And then right where they got she got me. So now you listening because the grizzle got to your brain, and the vibrations of the grizzle when she said what she said made you really start thinking what she said was really true. So you really listening to her. But really, if you sit back and think, are you really telling the truth or not? Because you always saying something when Ray not here. Is it really true what you're saying, or is it more to the story? You know what I'm saying? Because you must hear both sides. That's one thing people need to understand. You must. It's not optional. You must, because what you do is always claim that the woman is always right. You know? All right. So, like I said, Simone got the same thing too. You know, she got the same thing too. She'll get grizzly too when it comes to, like, she want to prove a point or say something, or she could say something wise, but could be missing details of the story. And she actually is on point. But if she knew more details, she would actually have more accuracy with what she said. That's why when it comes to Simone, she'd rather keep things secret rather than talk. Why? Because it's not a matter of a molestation or rape or some crap like that. It's different. It's like you didn't want it to stop. That's all it really is. You didn't want it to stop. You just acting like you wanted it to stop because I moved on in my life. But I'm gonna get into their feelings and emotions for real, to tell you why they act like that and why they try to put me on blast like that. It's not anything about they felt like it was wrong, like me. But so whatever the case. So 8 years old, finally I'm back over grandma's house, Grandma Glory on Oakford Avenue, 3132 Oakford Avenue, and Simone and Samantha would come over all the time, and we would have to sleep in the same room, same beds and stuff like that, because we're children, right? I'm at elementary school, things like that. So we all had to sleep in the same room, didn't have much space. And it was Uncle Alvin's old room. So next thing you know, I'm laying down, and what popped in my mind was Carlise. So I'm like, oh, right, I got to do this. So you're not realizing, what they're not realizing is what made me do that. But if we sat down and talked like grown adults, I could have ran it down to them in my child mind, my ignorant child mind, not having a mother, I've never even had sex education. Never had sex education. I was in middle school. I still didn't know what a virgin was versus a non-virgin. I never had sex education. I had to learn by observing my friends what sex was and what a virgin was. So I was still stupid. So even though I was engaging in pants rub activity, I still didn't understand what I was doing. So I started doing it because I'm thinking Carlise said this is what we supposed to do. So like I said, I was not feeling like I'm not supposed to suck a breast or I'm not supposed to suck a pussy. It's just the taste of it I didn't like. So in my mind, I'm still thinking I'm supposed to do it. It's just that I'm hoping it don't taste like Carlise's. So when it came to Simone and Samantha, that's what I started doing. You know, pants rub stuff and things like that. And what happened next? Oh yeah, whenever we would play house, so when I started going over Aunt Jill's house, and John did not come and visit just yet. He didn't come and visit just yet. I had to sleep in Simone and Samantha room, and we would play house all the time. There's nobody else to play with. You know, I wasn't old enough to babysit really. Aunt Jill would still be in the house doing something or whatever, watching TV, but we would be playing house, or she would be outside or upstairs or where she would be out of the area for a second, and we would be playing house, you know, running around the house, blah, blah, blah. So if you've never put up your sheets like a tent, you know, then you don't understand what house was. We didn't have internet and cell phones. You get some kind of heavy thing or grandma's old cookie jar. They got everything in it. There's, got needle and thread and all kind of stuff in it except cookies. You use that, you use this, you use the Barney dolls, you use everything to hold those sheets down so that your tent can stay up. And then you go into your tent and play. Man, we used to make the most fantastic tents, put the beds together, go up, climb up under the beds, used to crawl up, used to make it a whole DZ Discovery Zone up in that thing. The way we was doing it, but we were still young. They were going to Powhatan, and I was still in elementary school too. I was going to Edgecombe Circle still with Rhea, but I was over on Jailhouse at the time. And what happened? Yeah, so we play house. So every time we play house, Simone would be like, "I'm the mother, and Ray the father, and Samantha, you the daughter." Samantha would always, "I'm always the daughter, man. I'm tired of being a daughter." She never liked being a daughter. She wanted to be the mother too. And so as soon as we say, "I'm gonna be the mother, Ray gonna be the daddy, you gonna be the daughter," we would lay down. "All right, now go to sleep, Samantha," and then we start doing pants rub stuff. That's house. That's house. When you're playing house, pants rub is somewhere in playing house. I don't care who you were. If you ever played house with your cousins and you had mix of male and female cousins and somebody's the mommy and somebody's the daddy, that means we're going to be pants rubbing. But it's never no penetration, just pants rubbing or whatever the case, and da-da-da-da. That's what that meant. So for those of y'all old school, y'all understand. When I say play house, you already understand what comes with playing house if you've ever played house before. It's not brand new. It wasn't exclusive to just us. So we need to stop acting like that. And the fact that we were children, still not knowing anything, no sex education, not knowing if it's actually right or wrong. So you can't judge a child for never being taught about something with being wrong or right and they're doing it. It's because they were taught by an elder child. So my cousin John, he don't know Dorian, Wayne, Carlise. He don't know all of them. He don't know all of those encounters and things. He's just thinking Ray, Simone, and Samantha. He don't know anything else. He's just thinking this is just exclusive to just them. He's not knowing Akira. He don't know Tony. He don't know Kiera. He don't know, Taiwan, Victoria. You don't know them, but they're still our age bracket of cousins, 30s, late 30s and stuff like that. And he don't know them. He don't know Sasha. He don't know, you know what I'm saying? He don't even know Adina. He might know of her, but he don't know Adina. So it's like John was never around, so he don't know the full details or enough to really know how to feel. And when you hear one side of the story, you can just get real simpy and real white knightish. And I'm just gonna get revenge because you heard that he got with the grizzle. Oh, Samantha, the grizzle. I love the way the grizzle is rubbing off on my brain cells, and he got with the grizzle, and never was there. I was never there to really explain things in detail, like actually, So every time we would play house, this would happen, and we would play house all the time, and we would pass rub, and never have we stopped. We just did it. Now, I'm not gonna say we stopped. Eventually, we got older, but one thing I'm gonna say about all of this before I keep going, I've never gotten my dick sucked until I was 16 years old. I've never put my dick inside of a woman's anywhere hole, vagina, anywhere, until I was 16. Now, when I was younger, I have tried and, attempted and never could because my Peter Weeder, I had a Peter Weeder. My balls was not even dropped to even bust nuts. So it just was liquid, or at some point it started becoming liquid, but I didn't have ball drops. When I finally turned 12, my balls dropped when I hit puberty, and I was like telling my guardian, I'm like, something going on with my stuff. He was like, "Oh, your balls dropping." I'm like, what's that? What that mean? What balls dropping mean? Oh, what mean your ball sacks? Boy, your ball sacks like that? That's the first time I ever had a conversation about anything sexual was when my balls dropped. And then my guardian, "Yeah, your balls dropped. That mean this, and that." But he never said anything about sex. Then that was when I was taught. When I was 13, I asked one of her about sex. I said, "What's it like?" And she was like, well, my guardian, she popped up. She did a pop-up, Kung Fu Flick. She did a Kung Fu Flick pop-up. And I was like, "Oh, you popped up. So what's about sex and stuff?" She was like, "You don't want, she told me something false. Like, your first time hurt. So when you have sex for the first time, it's going to hurt. So make sure it's the special person." I'm like, oh, man. it's going to hurt the first time I have sex. That's what I'm thinking. It's going to hurt for me the first time I have sex. So she saw how stupid I was about sex, that she realized I didn't really know about sex. But she didn't understand that I had pants rub experience. I had a pants rub adventure in my childhood. I had a lot of pants rub adventures. Excuse me. My first pants rub was Akira. And that was crazy because grandma was in the kitchen, cooking and stuff. And I think she was on the phone because she had a phone. She had a house phone. You really didn't have house phones like that. But she had a house phone. And she might have been on the phone or something talking to somebody, Aunt Cynthia, Earlene or somebody. And me and Kara's in the front room and she got the stories on. And stories is boring. Like, nobody want to watch the stories. So we land on the flip out couch. The kitchen grandma had a couch that flips out into a bed. So we lay on that. And then we laying down and me and Kara just start doing pants rub. She tried to pull her pants down. I pulled my pants down and nothing was happening. Like nothing at all. We just trying to rub. We like, don't feel good or nothing. So we just stopped. Because grandma was like, what y'all in there doing? We pull our pants back up. And she didn't come in there, but she was like, what y'all in there doing? And still was on the phone talking because we making noise and stuff. Because we wasn't making a lot of, we just saying, I don't know how to do it. I don't know, just do it. Like, just pull your pants. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Do it feel good? I don't feel nothing. And that's how we was talking. So we were stupid, not knowing what we were doing. Young, 5 and stuff like that. So that was my first pants rub experience. Then it was the 8-year-old situation with Carlise of this licking and stuff. And like I said, I saw the video Uncle Mont had showed me, and that's how I learned about the pants rub. I'm thinking like I'm doing something to sit, like, oh, the guy is a doctor. So, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do what the guy did on the video. And so I was doing what the guy did on the video. And I'm like, do it feel good? I'm thinking like, do it work or something? Like I'm going to bring her back to life or something. I'm just thinking stupid stuff in my child brain. I'm not a kid or nothing. I'm not no demon or no crap like that where I know what the hell going on. I don't know what the hell going on. I'm just doing stuff from what I see. So it just got like that. And a lot of times, actually 100% of the time, children are puppets. They move by the energy that's within the household or the energy that the parents bring in the household, the adults and stuff. So that's how children move, from the energy that the parents give off. So, yeah. So anyway, pants rub. So with Simone, one time, I wanted her to like, I guess, lick my tip, but it never happened. It just was more like I gave her a choice. I'm like, do you want to or do you not want to? Like, I'm the daddy, you the mommy. We do the pants rub. Do you want to lick it or do you not want to lick it? And because I'm not saying suck. I don't know about sucking. You suck the dick, but you can lick it because I know about licking. Because Carlise, okay, you can lick it. So I'm using whatever little information I got. You can lick it because in my mind, we supposed to do this, right? We supposed to. So okay, and I'm like, you can lick it. She was like, nah, I don't want to lick it, man. I don't want to lick it. That's all right. I'm like, okay. So I put my stuff back up, and then we like, all right. Well, I wasn't forceful or nothing. She had a choice to lick the tip or not lick the tip, and she didn't. And us being children, you're not moved by the aggression of lust. You don't even understand what sex is. You're just thinking that, well, Carlise told me to do her, so maybe I tell Simone to do me because I'm older than her, and that's what he's supposed to do because I'm older. That's how I'm thinking. And with Samantha, I did to her what Carlise did to me. And the reason why I kept doing it with Samantha in my childhood, you thinking I'm a grown man, I'm not. It's like I said, I was 8 when I first did this, so that's when it started, and licking Samantha pussy, and it tastes like pee. But because when Carlise used to force me down there to keep licking it no matter what, I got afraid. Like, so while I'm licking Samantha pussy, I'm thinking about Carlise. I'm not thinking about Samantha. I'm thinking about Carlise. Like, I gotta make Carlise proud. I gotta make her proud because she said this is what we're supposed to do. So I want to do it right, at least with Samantha. If I didn't do it right with Carlise, I can do it right with Samantha. So I'm licking the pussy like, yeah, I'm gonna make Carlise proud. So yeah, I'm just what I'm doing. I'm gonna make my cousin proud, So when I see her again, and I'm gonna lick her pussy, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, you know. And so I'm licking Samantha's pussy or whatever, and it tastes like pee. But I'm like, I'm gonna just spit the pee taste out, let it run off my tongue, and just kept licking and kept licking and kept licking and just kept going. And I was like, I didn't ask her do it. I think I did ask her, do it feel good? Like, do it feel good? And she was like, I think she said yeah. And so I just kept doing it and kept doing it. Then after a while, she just didn't want me to stop. Every time I would do it, she would hold my head down there. Believe it or not, Samantha would hold my head down there to make sure I don't stop licking her pussy. And I just kept doing it, like, okay, well, it feel good, okay, yeah, so call me next time. So when I see Carlise, I'm gonna tell her, yeah, I can do it now, But I never seen Carlise again in that type of setting, So, but I would have, done it, but I was doing it with Samantha instead. So I just kept doing it. So it got to the point where, and Samantha never sucked my dick, and I never penetrated her. It just I kept licking her pussy. And she liked it so much that every time I would come spend the night, she would roll off her bed right next to me, like, and then want me to lick her pussy, and then we would pants rub and stuff. So it was like that. Now that we're older, right? Even though I was growing up, I was still thinking what we did was wrong, because by the time, and another time I would tell you, because I keep forgetting to talk about it. When I turned 12, that was the last time before I realized this is not something we should do. It was when I first read the Bible, read the scripture, Psalms 23, and we had to memorize it by heart. And what was it that time? No, Miss Joy had left my guardian. She left him, and we was in the room by ourselves at that point. We was living at Forest Park, and that's when the last pants rub situation. But that pants rub situation, I was trying to penetrate, because I was like, I know it's supposed to go in the hole or something like that, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I was with Sophia, my sister, and I went in the bed with her, and I'm like about to pants rub her, and I tried to do it, but it wasn't working. I'm like, man, it's not. And when I was going in, I'm like, oh, it look like it's working a little bit, because I remember with Brian, I was like, oh, it's working a little bit, like it's supposed to go in, but it's not going in right. I'm putting it in the wrong hole the whole time. I'm thinking I'm putting it in the right hole, and it was never going in the right hole. So I got that from me and Brian being together, and we did a lot of pants rub situations and stuff like that. Every weekend it was a custom. We would spend the night in the girls' room, or they would spend the night in our room, and we would lay together. If me and Brian didn't do any pants rubbing thing, Brian and I would, Brandy Francesco, we would sleep in the same bed together. So it felt like we were married, because we would cuddle every night. Every weekend we would cuddle up and be together, and then they would, after a while she would go back into her bedroom, and and that'd be that. And it got so comfortable, and we got so used to that we actually, when we played house one time, because we played house with Brian and Glenn one time. Glenn would always sleep in Sophia's bed, and Brian would be in my bed, or it would be vice versa. And we played house one time. We went into the bedroom, and Brian was like, yeah, I saw your father and my mother, they prayed over the Bible, and they got married over the Bible, and they said it's a legal document. If you get married in the Bible and your signature's in there, it counts in court and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. And she didn't say all that, but she was like, yeah, so they say get married in the Bible, it counts or something like that, or it's a real marriage or something she was saying. And Brian is 1 year older than me, and so we playing house. Glenn and Sophia is the son and the daughter. Brian and I we're the mother and the father, and we get married. And Brian, she was the one that orchestrated it. Like, do you swear to marry me to death do we part? She did it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I do. But I'm still thinking we playing house. And she was like, now you did it, you really mean it? I'm like, yeah, I really mean it. If we gonna do it for real, we gonna do it for real. She was like, yeah, we gonna do it for real. I'm like, yeah, then let's do it for real then. Because we always laying in the bed together, da-da-da. So we think, in our mind, we don't know if it's right or wrong to be doing this with our parents together, right? And then as you get older, you start realizing things be wrong. But in that situation, it still wasn't wrong. It just was out of context. But it wasn't wrong. We were not in sin, actually, because we did actually do the marriage vows and stuff, but we did not go through proper channels. And we also were limited to understanding Torah information about what is right and wrong. So it would have been ruled off as wrong. but we're not blood related. We don't have the same father and mother. They were married and they already came in a situation with children. So with Brian and I, we never forced each other. We just really loved each other, but we had to split because we kept on being intimate together, And they caught on to that, and then we had to split and part ways. And I have never been with. I haven't seen Brian really face to face ever since she had left, and that was when we were young children, man. I seen her at a fair, but I didn't get close enough to her. She had a boyfriend, and that guy, she had a child by and stuff like that. But in my heart, I was always like, man, we supposed to have been married in the Bible and stuff, and no. So I always felt like, all kinds of stuff, that we missed out, or that was my wife, but and I just did not understand. I didn't understand things yet. Now today as a rabbi, I understand fully if I was right or wrong. So yes, I'm mad. I'm mad about things that you're not even expecting me to be mad about. I'm mad about all of that stuff that I could have made right. None of that was worthy of death, worthy of punishment. It wasn't worthy of you need to die or nothing. Now that I know, it just was out of context. So no, I was not actually sinning if I would have carried it through, or if I would have followed through understanding what I was doing. But like I said, no sex education, and we didn't have proper moral teaching, or even any moral teaching on what was right or wrong. We just was told things was wrong. So it's like that, It's like I feel different now. That's why I came to my cousin Victoria and was like, you want to get married? And it just probably fucked her whole head up. Why would he be so aggressive? Like, let's get married. That's wrong. That's incest. No. But I did that to let her know it's not wrong, but at the same time to get her thinking that Samantha's so aggressive about the situation, that Ray used to this and Ray used to that. But at the same time, I'm telling Victoria I want to marry her. Is Ray crazy, or do we know something that we don't know? If I'm a rabbi and I know the Bible, I know all the right and wrong things that mankind's supposed to do on earth, then I would know that marrying your cousin would be wrong, right? Right. But it's not. It's not wrong. It's right. Why? Everybody that knows the Bible know Leah and Rachel are cousins of Jacob or Yaakov. They didn't just do that out of incest. It wasn't incest. Okay? It was a Torah law. There's a fine line between who you can and can't marry. It's like a chart. It's an actual chart. Okay? What you can and can't do. You just don't have the chart. The incest chart. So yes, there has to be taught what is and what is not. What's the line? What's not the line? All right. So whatever the case, Brian and I, and like I said, we split. We played house and got married in over the Bible and swore and everything. And I was serious. She was serious, and she would get jealous and all kind of stuff. If a girl popped up, was a girl named Monique or something that used to pop up that was from my school, or Danielle or something like that from my school. And she was in the neighborhood on one Christmas, and we had the first down football. And I'm like, what's up, Danielle? Da, da, da. She was like, who the fuck is Danielle? Like, I'm just saying it's the girl who's the girl from your school? No, he can't come outside. He can't come outside ever again. Like, no, he never can come outside again. You should just go home. And like, she was like real aggressive to Danielle. Yeah, no, he's not coming outside. He can't come outside. He can't come outside and play or nothing. And Brian closed the door, turned around, started punching me and stuff. Because we was really in love with each other, and we really was playing house, and even though we was playing house, it ended up becoming the real feelings and emotions. And so yes, we should have got married, and we should have come back together. Now today, understanding we was not wrong. All we needed was permission from both parents that we can do that. Why? Because we're not blood related. It would still be in-law. That's how it would be looked at. That's my son-in-law. Yeah, right. That's my stepson, but yes, still son-in-law. Because you got married. So it's your son-in-law. It's son-in-law and stepson is interchangeable. So if I married Brian, it would still be stepson or son-in-law, because I'm not your blood son. So it still is okay. It's not a breach of the commandments in Leviticus, where you go to chapter 18, where you can't touch your blood sister, or half-blood sister, regardless, even if it's a polygynous situation. That's why it's called half or whatever. Whether you're from the same father and mother, or the same father or mother, that's the one you can't do. But if you're step, you don't have the same DNA, so you're allowed. You just need permission. So, not knowing that, we all thought we were wrong and we made wrong moves. So Miss Joy and my father should have never split off of that. They just didn't understand. So the joy that he lost was from ignorance. They did not understand that they was not wrong. you know. So knowing that today, and what I did with Brian, I tried to do with my sister, and it was just not feeling right. With Brian, it felt right. With my sister, it did not feel right. I just felt inside my stomach that, no, that's not right, man. It's not right because it's not right. I don't feel nuts. No, I don't want to do this. So I stopped. Just something told me to stop, and I stopped. And I left off the bunk bed with my sister and got my own bed. And that next morning, I had a sleep paralysis. And my sister walked down the steps, or whatever the case, and I couldn't move and stuff like that. And then finally, I pop up. The first time I ever had sleep paralysis. And then I woke up. And then as I woke up, I had like a voice in my head saying, touching your sister was wrong. You can't do that. Like, oh, I didn't know. And I'm like, the first time I ever felt someone trying to tell me, or spiritual someone trying to tell me that what I was doing was wrong, because I never had sex education. I never had education about it being right or wrong to touch and fondle and pants rub or nothing ever. Still to this day, I've never had a sex education talk with any other adults. Now that I know the Bible, I can put it in perspective for everyone. I'm pretty sure everybody in my family, cousins and stuff, never had a sex education, a proper sex education from their parents. So they're all in the same boat, because I never had a proper sex education. So I stopped. That was the last time I ever tried to do something. Once I got that voice in my head that was wrong, I stopped, and I just continued learning the Bible. I had my Precious Moments Bible, it was the blue one, and I just kept learning the Bible. And then we start having Bible studies and this, and I never touched anybody in my family ever again, because the voice in my head was saying it's wrong to do. Now, from that time, I'm thinking all of it was wrong, so once I went back around my cousins, Simone and Samantha, now having the voice in my head telling me that was wrong to do, from Carlise telling me it was what we supposed to do, that's when I was like, I'ma just wait till we grow up, and then we can talk about this. But I don't want to talk about this while we're young, because we're not mature enough yet to talk about this, and then whatever the case. But I'm pretty sure they were wondering, and Samantha more than anybody was wondering why I stopped sucking her pussy. Like, every time I come over, that automatically means open your legs so I can start sucking pussy. But I stopped because I feel like, God's telling me it's wrong. But it wasn't God telling me it's wrong actually fully. He was just telling me it was wrong for my sister. But if I was doing that with Simone and Samantha, I had to marry them. So I just didn't follow through. I didn't understand yet. I was still in the stages of learning. I was still learning, didn't know yet. So at that time, I just left it alone. I just stopped touching them, because I'm like, man, it's wrong to do. So I'm gonna just wait till we get older and then talk about this. But it's still, I'm pretty sure they still harbored feelings and emotions about like what made me stop, what was the reason and things like that. I don't know. I didn't know myself. I just stopped because I felt like the voice was telling me we got to stop, So finally, and then the last time somebody tried to try me, all of my other cousins that were younger, that was not in that bracket of me being that young, playing house and stuff, I never even been around them or expressed any type of just let them know that, if they knew something that Samantha might have told them, that's what it was and not what it is. That's when I was young and ignorant, and I didn't understand what I was doing, and I didn't want to just be throwing Carlise's name out there like that. Well, Carlise this and Carlise that, because then they're going to be looking at Carlise like, oh, you taught Ray how to, and then you getting emotional. Like, what? You want your pussy sucked next? Like, what? Well, you saying, and then we, I don't want to get too deep into that, but anyway, bringing it back. So, Selena. Now, when Selena was born, like I said, I was in the military, and then Aunt Jib moved from 2012 Russell Avenue to 1110 Lakeside Drive, Parkville, Maryland. And I didn't know what to do. Like I said, I was far away from what I used to be when I was 10 years old, and touching on my cousins and them, and Brian and Jazza Ray and Ray Sean and everybody, we just doing anything. Like, everybody just pants rubbing each other, not knowing if it's right or wrong. We just doing it, because everybody here, pants rub central, So it wasn't exclusive to just Simone and Samantha, but we want to make it exclusive. Like, Ray Jazza Ray would come down from New York and we pants rubbing with Jazza Ray. Jazza Ray was really like where you going at? You ain't finished. Like, want me to really penetrate. And I didn't understand penetration at the time. I thought we just pants like this how it's supposed to go. Like, no, you supposed to go in there. I'm like, dang. Even in New York, I was pants rubbing. Like, what the hell? I was in New York, pants rubbing cousins I ain't never even known. Like, so I was like, what the heck? So pants rub was part of my growing up. It's just because we were not taught sex education, you keep doing it. I wasn't a disobedient child. I did it because I was told we supposed to do it. But if I was told by an adult or I had somebody teaching me sex education, I was an adult, I would have stopped. But I had to get a voice in my head telling me it's not right to do. So anyway, Selena. So with Selena, she was 3 years old and we were watching Trinity Broadcasting Network. We was watching church. Cause I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. I just know that I'm trying to find God at this point in my life, and I want to bring God to Selena. I don't want her to grow up stupid like I was. Like, I was stupid. I did not know I was not supposed to do certain things. I just did what the big kids told me to do because they told me to do it. So I don't want her to be that ignorant person, and she's still too young for me to really talk to, but I'm going to just sit her down in front of church and be like, yeah, let her listen to the pastors and stuff. That's the best I understood at the time. Because I was like coming into my Christian walk where I was really reading the Bible heavy, trying to really understand life and things, a moral code about myself. So I would always have a watching church, or if we're not watching church, we're playing Mario 3D World or Super Mario, whatever. And I just would play with her. It would never be any funny business because I wanted to leave a different message and a different type of energy with the younger cousins, to let them know that Ray is not like that. Ray was just like y'all, didn't know what the hell he was doing, stupid, taught wrong things, and I had to come out of it. And when I came out of it, I never turned back. Now that I'm way out of it and I know what's right and wrong, I can now come back and be like mad, extra mad, like, dang, I wasn't really wrong. I just did it a little wrong, So, but with Selena, she was the one that did it. So we're sitting down watching TV, right? And I'm like, all right, sit down, Selena, we want to watch some church. And they come on, praise the Lord. And they singing the songs and stuff, and Benny Hinn come on or something like that. And then out of nowhere, while I'm watching church, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good for her. She ended up jumping on me and she's rubbing her pussy on me. Like, she's burning. Like, I've never seen Selena like that, and in a way that scared me. But at the same time, it was like, in my mind, it's like, what the fuck? I'm trying to stop the situation. It reminded me of Samantha, when I used to suck her pussy and stuff. She never wanted me to stop. So I was trying to, like, what the fuck? So when Selena did that, she jumped on me, legs wide open. She didn't jump on me with her arms. She jumped on me with her legs open and was humping on my arms and stuff, like really rubbing and humping her pussy on my arms, like, and I'm like, Selena, get off me. And she was not letting go. She was still pants rubbing me, like rubbing her pussy on my arm. I'm like, Selena, get off me. And I had to push her off me. And she was like, argh! She like really looked at me and gritted her teeth and like she wanted to hit me. And instead of hit me, she just stood there mad. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And then she get up and go somewhere. But she did. She looked at me, she gritted her teeth, and she growled at me or gave me a, like, let me do it, or rub, she wanted that. She was burned. I never seen her like that before ever in my life. And that was the first, well, she was only 3, but she did that. I was like, what the fuck? I like, oh my God, I never did anything or nothing like that. Like, what did she see? What did she hear? What was going on to make her be experienced to, like, what the hell? I didn't understand. I was scared to death. And then I went and told Grandma, I said, Grandma, can you watch Selena? And that's started the beginning stage of that. But no, I didn't want to leave Selena. I wanted to be there still to teach her it was wrong. So what happened was, what I did when Selena and Kimora was over on Jia's house one time, I wanted to say it in a certain kind of way. So they went downstairs in the basement and Aunt Jia's bed. And I went, before I left the house, it was 2008, before I left out the house, I would do teaching videos like this in Aunt Jia's basement, teaching about the Bible. And I was doing the story of Asenath and Yusuf on 2008, or Joseph and Asenath, when he was sold by his brothers into slavery. I was on that level already. But I was talking to Selena and Kimora when they was in the Let me tell y'all something. I said, if anybody in the family, any cousins or anybody ever touch you, you let me know. All right? Don't let them touch you. You let me know. You call me because you're not supposed to be touching, all right? Not supposed to touch your cousins. You're not supposed to touch each other. And they was like, oh, I scared them. And they was like, okay. You know, they were scared and got under the covers like, yeah, we're not supposed to touch it. So at the same time, I was telling Selena, you know, in a way saying like, you're not supposed to be jumping on me like that, you know. Then I got older, but I'm a rabbi today. And now that's completely wrong. So I want to double apologize to Selena, Simone, Samantha, Akira, everybody. I want to apologize to the cousins because only person, and also Sophie, but Sophie know that the Bible, we not so. That was actually, I was right about that. You're not supposed to touch your blood sister. But it's told that Pre is not my mother. Jada Pinkett Smith is my mother. So maybe I wasn't wrong about that either. So what the fuck? So, see what I'm saying? When you don't know stuff, whatever the case, no, you are allowed to marry your cousin, but you have to marry them. So bringing it to the story of, and Shemuel, the story of Tamar and Amnon and Abi Shalom, or Absalom as they call him. Now, Amnon was one of the sons of Malak Dawad, okay? And Tamar was a daughter of Malak Dawad, you know, but the details of the genealogy is not given because the way the context of the story goes, you have to leave it open. You can't assume that or speculate that any other way except for what they said, unless you're given more information and you can prove your speculation. So, and Absalom. So Amnon and Absalom are brothers. They have the same father. You know, they got the same family. But Tamar is not really the sister of Amnon. All right. And whatever the case, he feels some kind of way about, you know, Tamar. He likes her a lot, but it was really lust. He's burning. Like how Selena was for me when she was 3. You know, she's burning. She's trying to rub her pussy on me. And I push her off. I had to really put some force into it because she was really trying to manhandle me like at 3 years old and then growled at me. I'm going to get you. You know, like I'm going to get you for stopping me. Like I'm going to punch you in the face for stopping me again. You know, and whatever the case, that was the same situation with Amnon with Tamar. He was burning in lust for her. And so when he finally got the chance to get her, she goes to Malak Dawad first and talk to him. And he gives her the permission to go and bake cakes for her brother who's sick or whatever the case. And then finally he tells the people to go out the door and lock the door behind you. So, of course, you can't assume anybody's stupid. When you're talking about a situation like this, don't ever assume that you're wiser than the ancients. Don't ever assume that you see something that they didn't see or that you're more clever than they are, them being more prophetically inclined than you ever will be. Never assume that they didn't know something that you're now knowing. It's like you're a grasshopper trying to say, see, David, if you would have only known. And he was like, I knew. The fuck? You just don't know the details, boy. Like, he could come up like, I knew. I could see. You know, we are people that see. That's what Joseph was trying to prove. Joseph was trying to prove that I come from a people that can see. They have eyes to see. You come from a dead people that don't have eyes. That's what Joseph was trying to prove in captivity. When his brother sold him into slavery, he was trying to prove to the Africans that we are prophetical. We have visionary abilities and stuff. We can see, analyze, and assess. We're very keen people. So never assume that they aren't keen. So whatever the case, she goes by permission of Malak Dawad, or King David as you call him. Tend to him. He locks the door, tell the people to get out. Like I said, King David is a king. And his son Amnon, he's in his chambers, and his servants, clap, get everybody get out and lock the door behind you. Tell the servants to get out. He's there with his sister. There's a whole royal scene right now. Everybody got the royal garments on, all the royal. It's like black people today in America. We are royalty at this time. We're not slaves in America at this time. So the same people, but different perspective. We're royalty. So we're conducting as such. So here it is. Tamar goes, he bakes in the cake, like, okay, blah, 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 whatever the case. And so he, you know, grabs her and he forces her. And she's like, don't force me. But he forces her anyway. So she gives in. And then once he's done with her, she said, you know, he's like, you can get out, da-da-da, whatever the case. He's not liking her anymore. Because he just wanted sex with her. And She didn't want to be forced by him, you know. So it could be said that she didn't like him like that or didn't want him like that, and he didn't like that she didn't want him like that. It could be like that. But whatever the case, he got his nut off, he got his sex off, and now he don't want her in there anymore. Or whatever the case. So where he burnt and luster of towards her, he now hates her or whatever the case. And so she's like, why would I leave the bed now? Like, I'm in the bed, I'm staying in this bed. She's not wanting to leave it now. Like, you already forced me, had sex with me. I'm staying in this bed. I ain't going no fucking where. I'm right here. I'm going to go turn over and go to sleep. And he's still in his royal mindset. You need to get the fuck out. You know, like he told his servants, get out and lock the door behind you. You got authority and stuff, so you can tell people what to do. But she's now sitting here like, oh no, I ain't going no motherfucking where. Da 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 da. This, that, and the third. So whatever the case, you know, she's like not moving. So she's like, well, tell King David, tell the king, you know, and he will not, you know, forbid me, or he will basically permit us to be together. He will not withhold me. That's what he said. He will not withhold me from you. He will give us permission to be together. Now, King David, knowing the Torah, him being a man after the Most High's heart, he would not give a decree that is not Torah obedient. Them having the kingdom that's based on the Torah. It's not America. It's Israel. With the Torah stands. That is the foundation of the kingdom of Israel, is the Torah of the Most High Yah. So he would give a decree and say before everyone, he would not give a decree that would be backwards towards in the face of all of the people of the kingdom. That everybody see that King David allowed Amnon, his son, and Tamar to be together, and they're brothers and sisters by blood. Why would he do such a thing? And that would be the talk of the whole kingdom. You know what I'm saying? We thinking in our small minds that it's just a small little matter, a private matter. Not really. So she was like, yo, he will not withhold me from you. So he wanted to talk about this. He wanted to go be together. Now, it's the same as the law in the Torah that talks about if a man falls upon a woman and she's a virgin and she's not betrothed to be married, you must endow her to be your wife after you've humbled her. You know, you've humbled her. You've taken her virginity. You must endow her to be your wife. You penetrated into her. You've taken her hymen. You know, and no other man, and another man that comes to her will not have her hymen. You know, her blood will not be, you know, upon him. So you must endow her to be your wife, and you can never put her away all the days of your life. Now, the first time I've ever penetrated a woman was when I was 16. All right. Every other time was like pants rub, trying too hard, Peter Weeder, pecker, you know, whatever the heck. You don't even got no dick. You got a little twig. So in your ball, you don't even got balls. You don't even really have a sack for real. You just got a taint, and then it goes to the dick. Like, where the fuck is this whole, you know, you ain't got no balls or nothing. You just got a whole little whatever. But when you're young, it can look different, right? But when you're young, older people, like, it's whatever. The little pecker thing ain't gonna do nothing. Like, it's gonna break like a twig, trying to put something in something. So that's what it always felt like. You know, like it's gonna break. Like, it's not doing nothing. So, like a crayon or something. So, whatever the case, that was the last time, Selena, you know. And that situation was kind of like Tamar's situation and stuff like that, and Amnon's situation. But the thing about it was, the thing she said, you'll be called the fool in Israel. The thing that made him to be a foolish person was that why would you try to take the virginity of a woman that you're not trying to marry? So you defamed yourself, you defamed the kingdom, and you made yourself look like a fool before everyone. Nobody's going to respect you after that, you know? And it was such a disrespectful matter that you would do that to your own family. You know, it wasn't like it was some random woman that you grabbed out of war and then you was like, oh, I'm going to kill all of these men. You at war, right? Against a bunch of homosexual race of men called the Philistines, you know, or the Romans. You're a bunch of homosexual race of men. You got a bunch of women that's married to a bunch of homosexual men. You kill the men off, you take the women, because the women, they want to follow the Torah. They still a little bit sad that they lost their man, but they want the Torah. So they shave their head, they come with you, they stay about a month, 2 months, or whatever the case, and then you have your way with her. You know, it's not like that situation. You know, you humble her and stuff like that, and she stays with you. She's your concubine or whatever the case, and blah, blah, blah. You just grabbed her out of war. She's a spoil of war. It's not that, since she's your family, like your sister, she's royalty and things like that. So yes, you know, it's a mixed emotion here. I want to kill you, but at the same time, I want to be merciful so that you can get your mind together and go back to Tamar and be like, I'm sorry for what I did and humbling you like that and just disrespecting you. I want to take your hand in marriage, and then marry her. But you were so headstrong and so authoritative and so royal and prince this and prince that you did that thing like that. And the abuse of your power, you did it like that, and just pushed her out. Otherwise, he would have married her. But I was thinking like how King David mixed emotions, like kill him, but at the same time, I want to buy time so that he can realize what he did and go back to her because he's still stupid, and then he can marry her. That was the whole point. She wouldn't just, it's just, you got to realize things. You just had sex, this, that, and the third. The king will not withhold me from you. That's what she said. You don't want to assume that she was lying. Keep it straight. You don't want to speculate out of context. That's what I mean by speculate out of context. You don't want to speculate out of context of the story when she said, the king will not withhold me from you. When she said that, assume that she knew the Torah and thou shalt not lie, and that's what she was trying to do. Or assume that she understood that he had strange energy, and she went to King David and said he acting funny and and they probably talked up a plan so that if he do this, be ready for him, type of stuff. Just think that, because why do you want this specific sister? And you have guards and stuff that you telling like get out of the room and lock the door behind you. You think they not talking? You're royalty. You're not in private. Everybody see you. So everybody not stupid. They know that. Why you want this one girl to come in the room and feed you? Everybody can clearly see you like her. So you so crazy about her that just in case, let's prepare her. And she went to King David first and go ahead and do it because he burning that much and he want to just see you. Like, yeah, he just want me to do it. Why you want me to do it out of everybody? And then King David's not supposed to really be clever to realize that, but he a master of war. King David not clever to see when somebody up to something, but he a master. Come on, out of here, man. You knew he knew. So you had the pep talk first, and then you go in there just in case he, get out of bop, and you just that and the third. So he already was saying. So she was like, let's tell the king he will not withhold me from you. How do you know that he will not withhold you from him? Did you talk about this before? How did you know that King David would not withhold you from Amnon? How did you know that to say that? Unless you talked to him before and you ran down a plan. If he does this, that, and the third, okay, I will not withhold you from him. Go ahead and do it. If he runs upon you and wants you and just do what he say, that y'all can get married. I won't withhold you from him. Okay, yes, sir. I'll go in there. It could have been that. That's a proper speculation because of what they were saying. And that Amnon said, it's my brother's sister, Abby Shalom's sister, not my sister. So it's to say, for you to say something like that, like, no, it ain't my sister. Even if you say it one time, don't say it one time. Like, no, that's not even my sister for real. It's not? No, it's not my sister. That's my brother's sister. So who is she to you? Or she probably could be your cousin or could be your stepsister, something like that. A relative. So that's what Akka or Akot also mean. Not always sister or Ak. Doesn't always mean brother. And depending on the context, it just could be relative. So yeah, that's what that was going on there. And I'm also properly assuming that you have a big kingdom. King David would not say something like that to her, knowing what stain that would put on his image, his kingship, slander, defamation, people talking all crazy. King David let his son Amnon have sex with Tamar and get married and stuff. But that's against the Torah. Like, yeah, I even know that, right? Because then that's making I can go talk to my brother right now. People would, come on now. We know how it goes. So that's a proper speculation. You don't want to be, representing a bad image. And that King David was a man after the Most High's own heart. So he would not transgress the Torah willingly like that and do something crazy like that, knowing that you got Abby Shalom right there. You going to have sex with her, do all of that. Tamar also know that she could just go get her brother. Like, yo, if he just going to go extra crazy like that, I could just get my brother. Or if he do harm me, hit me, hurt me or something, I could just go tell my brother, Abby Shalom, and he going to handle him. You know what I'm saying? So regardless, either way it went, Amnon could have got handled. But he did something crazy, still did it. And what happened? He got handled, right? So it's not like she was this person that was just like, didn't have protection. Or if something would have happened to her, he would have killed her or something like that. Amnon wouldn't have got handled or dealt with right away or something. So you got to understand all of these different things. You got to look at it as an actual kingdom, and like how you watch these little ancient kingdom movies with the King Arthur and all that. You got to look at it like that. People be around, people talk, whispers and stuff, and a lot of people in your kingdom and stuff like that. So I just wanted to say that part. I gave you my little story. Today, yeah, that's today. No, it's not wrong. Now I want to say something else. It's not wrong to marry your cousin. You're actually supposed to marry your cousin. I said cousin. Sorry. I don't know why that word keep coming out. Oh, that's my cousin. But that's for women to say. But that's my cousin. My cousin and my husband at the same time. It keep coming out like that. But according to the Torah, King James 1611 version. You got to get the 1611 version, King James version. You wasn't really King James in it if you ain't had the 1611. So if you get the 1611, go to the book of Tobit, and it tells you, and then when he went to go get a wife, he went to his family house. Every time you read in the scriptures where the ancients went to go get a wife, they went to their family's house. They didn't go to some random person down the street, around the corner, way far away, that they just met online on Bumble and Tinder. Some person you never met before, don't know them or their family. You don't do that. The Torah tells you, go to your family house. You're supposed to, according to the Torah law, you're supposed to marry your cousin before anyone else. But I didn't even know all of that until I got at the age I'm at now, and the age bracket I'm in now. If I'd have knew all of this way when I was young, I would have married Samantha. I would have married Simone. Like Leah and Rachel married Jacob. They were both his cousins. He married Leah and Rachel, two of his cousins, and Zilpah and Bilhah. So that's 4 cousins he married. 4 relatives that he married from his uncle's house. So he went to his uncle's house, worked for him for 14 years, married Leah and Rachel, and they had handmaidens that was Zilpah and Bilhah, and so he had 4 wives. Walked off 4 wives from his uncle's house. They was his daughters, and so he married his cousins. That's not forbidden. That's the fine line chart that you need. That's the incest chart. The incest chart that you need is that. Okay, what is the line here? That's the line. I'm gotta make the chart again for y'all. I'll make a chart this time. I'll actually make a chart whenever I get the time to make a whole incest chart. Who you can and can't marry. But your cousin, you're supposed to marry. Okay? You're supposed to. If she's in the Torah, if she's living the Torah way, she's under the protection of the Most High. So then, yes, you are permitted to marry her. If she's not serving the Most High and she's serving some other God or not serving God at all, it is an empty anger. It's a styrofoam anger. She's mad, but nothing happens to you. You'll do something like get in an extreme car collision and hop out the car like nothing even happened, looking there like, man, it's boring. So when I did get in a car collision, I saw my cousin Samantha. Or as said, I saw her walk in a hospital mad that I'm okay. But it's like you're mad about nothing and you're still not mature enough yet to talk. And it's not a matter of I'm saying she just don't want to hear it, or it's only because she still want her pussy sucked. But the thing is, she's not expecting what I'm going to say. She's assuming what I'm going to say. But the thing about it was with my cousin Samantha and Simone, when they got to the age of 18 and stuff like that, I still didn't understand. Like I said, I still didn't understand it was okay to do. I just had to marry. I didn't understand the Torah yet. I didn't know I wasn't really wrong or anything like that. I just out of context with it. I was happy to make it right by my cousin Samantha finding Carlos. So in my Christian mind, I'm so happy for Samantha to have someone because I stopped doing up the house. I stopped playing house with them. And in my mind, I'm like, it's wrong. So they're not old enough to talk about this yet. They're not mature enough to talk about this yet. I am, but they're not. So I'm happy that she got someone, Carlos, and that she's happy with him. He's a good guy. I got a good hit on him. I'm happy about that. So I'm thinking that she can move on. And then the same with Simone. She ended up having her first boyfriend was this tall guy or whatever the case. And that was her first, Then she broke up with him, her very first boyfriend. Now, the only way you can prove if they were virgins or not, which I know they were, is if you talk to them. Carlos. And then Simone's first boyfriend. Did they bleed the first time you had sex with them? You would have to talk to them. And the answer would be yes. But the thing is, I felt like I was I was making up for what I thought was wrong at the time by Simone having someone and Samantha having someone. And then like, all right, they have someone, I can move on. We're getting older and this, and then by the time we'll get old enough, we could talk. Now with Samantha, I finally forced it. I forced it at one point. We had a family event. I think Andrea had something going on, Thanksgiving or something going on. And I finally got, this was before I even went to the Philippines, before I even got married to Jenny Rose or Tanika. I talked to Samantha and I was like, she went into the fridge and I was in the kitchen. And I'm like, Samantha? She's like, what? She was like, well, can I tell you something? She was like, yeah, what? And I was like, we need to do a better job of teaching the younger cousins, what not to do and what to do. Like, she was like, you know what, Ray, you right. She agreed with me. So when it comes to Samantha, I don't see why she's aggressive or why she's still aggressive, because I was able to talk to her in a grown adult way and say, Samantha, we need to teach our younger cousins not to touch on each other like we used to. We were wrong. We were not supposed to do all of that stuff. And I wanted to talk to you about it, but we just need to do a better job at raising our younger cousins so that they won't make the same mistakes that we made when we were young, not knowing what we were doing. And she was like, you know what, Ray, you right. I agree with you and stuff like that. And I felt like we hashed it. You know what I'm saying? I felt like we hashed it and everything was cool because I was able to say something, like I was wrong for what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing, but we need to teach our younger cousins because I didn't know what I was doing, so I know they're not going to know what they're doing. Nobody ever taught me sex education, what to do and not to do. Don't touch your cousins. I was only told that it was okay to do by the older cousins. I never had a parent or an adult tell me anything about sex education. So we need to do that. Make sure they don't, because we know how it was for us, right? Nobody that was an adult told you anything about sex. Like they never told me anything about sex, or maybe that was an assumption, So in my mature mind, being a innocent young man that got led into something that I thought was right, instead of people looking at me like I have this innate problem about myself that just want to be touching people, you're not listening to my story. And I'm telling you my story so that you can realize I'm an innocent child that was led a certain kind of way. I was told things by my elders that I believe their advice, that I'm supposed to do what they say. Okay. And so I thought I was doing what was right. I'm an obedient child. I obey my elders. Even the big kids, you're supposed to respect the big kids like you respect the grown-ups. So if a big kid tell you to do something, you do it. That's what we was told. If a big kid tell you to do this, you do it. So it's like if I was with Carlise, Aunt Jill would definitely tell me, if Carlise tell you to do something, you do it. She's a big kid and you're a younger kid, okay? So you respect your elders, right? So that's what I'm thinking. So that's what they would definitely tell me. So yeah. So if Carlise told me to suck on her titties and stuff, I'm going to do it because, but that's not an expectation that you're expecting. Now, yes, today, if Carlise was not married and things like that, I would try to marry Carlise, or I would try to have sex with her, because I would definitely make up for it. Because I thought that, like, I went from this is what I'm supposed to do to it's wrong to, oh, it is what I'm supposed to do, but I was out of context. I'm supposed to marry her, not just suck her pussy and suck her titties and then walk away. And then we just move on in our life. No, I was supposed to suck her titties and suck her pussy for the rest of my life. And that's just that one person I'm doing. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just supposed to, marry her or whatever. But that's how it should have went, but it didn't, So the same thing with Selena, with Selena, she was the aggressor. Like I can't be around Selena without her activating. And like I said, it goes back to the thing where, like for men, I don't know about girls. I'm gonna assume about girls because of Selena. She's my reference. But with young men, when you're a man and you're mature, you look at older women like 20, 30 years older than you, sometimes even 40 years older than you. You look at them, if you like them and you get attracted to them, you become possessive. Like they're yours. You don't want them to go anywhere, Like I'm a 40-year-old man. An 18-year-old girl could look at me like, and if she is attracted to me in some kind of way or like something about me, she's going to be the aggressor. because she's younger, I'm older, I might not like her or find her interesting. She's going to be the aggressor. So you need to look at her. Like me, I could be the aggressor. Like I could say an older woman like Judge Lynn or something like that. Like Judge Lynn or Judge Judy or somebody that I like that's older. Like I'll just say Judge Lynn. Judge Lynn, she's old. I'm like, man, please. If Judge Lynn gave me the time of day, I'm going to be the aggressor. I'm going to be the more possessive one of not wanting her to go or move or leave, or I'm trying to eat the pussy out all day, bang the pump, trying to get her pregnant again and give her another child. If that's the energy, even though you could have love because but it can go two ways. The aggression still is there. The possessiveness still is there, but you could not know what love is. You cannot be with the Most High, or you could just be with the Most High. So if you are with the Most High, it'll go right. If you're not, it can just go wrong. You can become aggressive and start fighting and stuff. But yeah, man. And I guess it can go backwards. Like if you're the older person, the younger person, you can be an aggressor. But most times I notice that older people can let younger people go because they're younger. And you're thinking like, man, they young. They're going to want somebody their age. It's easy to let them go because you know that they're going to be still in their fields and they're going to be more about physical attraction than purpose and things like that. So it's easier for an older person to let a younger person go. But for a younger person to let an older person go is hard, especially if there's some kind of attraction towards each other. So that's what nobody in the family knows. Not even Keyshawn, Kamari, Kimura, is that when Selena was 3, she was trying to, she was pants rubbing the shit out of my arm. Like, Selena, what the fuck? I had to really push, like I said, I had to push her off me. Like, I couldn't just nudge her. She was not respecting the nudge. I'm like, Selena, go ahead, go. She wasn't listening to me or nothing. She just blanked out and just was like, I don't give a fuck. And I had to, and like I said, she growled at me. And then another time, I came to visit, came back home from, no. We had the car, I came with Tanika, and we had the Equinox. And Tanika was, getting aggressive. She's biting my face and crap like that. So she was getting extra aggressive and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, you need to call your mother. So she called her mom and like come and get her and stuff. And they take the car back home. Whatever. I'm just, whatever. It was just crazy. So her mother come and get her from Baltimore. And they go back to Utah. And I was in my aunt's basement by myself. And one time I'm walking up the steps. And I come and I sit down on the couch and it's dark in the living room, always dark in the living room. Then I see Selena to my right, and Selena had her legs wide open. Her pussy was right in my face, and I'm looking at her pussy, and it was juicy, wet, oozing. She was like creaming and stuff, and I was like, oh my God. And I just like didn't do anything. The reason I didn't do anything is because I still wanted that fatherly respect, that fatherly love. But at that time I did know that you can marry your cousin. But I'm like, nah, man, I love you so much, Selena. I couldn't do that, and I'm not that type of person. And I just didn't do it, also because Tanika, I'm feeling like I want to work it out with Tanika and things like that. But if it was a different type of situation, like I was just single by myself, me knowing what I know now, I would have done it with the understanding that I'll let Selena know that we have to get married after this. I would not have just did it and then you all in your feelings and emotions and we not, and it's stupid now, you just having sex and then we moving on and like, no. I would have did it knowing that we're always going to be like together like this, and it would have been an apology for, misleading her and things like that. So yeah, it can sound funny what I'm saying. But it's not incest. You're supposed to marry your cousin. Like I said, read the Book of Tobit, the King James 11, the King James version, 1611, the older version. It got extra old English in there. And it tells you, according to the Torah, you must marry your cousin before you go to an outside source. It is your right of inheritance to marry your cousin before you marry someone outside. That's who you go to first within your family, cousins or a step sibling. Okay? And if that's not a case where nobody's following the Torah, then you can go to an outside source, like someone at your assembly or your synagogue or something like that. That's outside in another family. But you start with your own family, but only in the cousins. That's the line. Okay, that's the line. Okay, they're not near kin. They're just kin. So you must not approach to anyone that is near kin to you. Only kin, not Barbie and near kin. Barbie and just regular old kin. Your relative, your cousin. That's Torah law. So that is not the line cross. That is not incest. That's who you're supposed to, like Jacob. Isaac, he married his cousin as well. Rebecca, as you call it. That was his cousin. Abraham, he married his niece. Okay, that's not against Torah law either. You know what I'm saying? It's like I gotta make a chart for y'all. Okay? And then you have like I said, cousins. So I'll make a chart, yo, and explain it to you. No, Abraham was not in sin when he married Sarah, his niece. He was not in sin. They were 10 years apart. He was not in sin. He was not in incest when he did that. He did follow the Noahide laws. So he did go to school for a long time. You would not go to school for a long time if there's not a lot to teach you. You know, he learned from Shem and Noach, who learned from Adam himself. So Adam, the first man, taught Noah and Shem, and then Shem and Noah taught Abraham. So Abraham has the original teaching of what the Most High want for mankind. So of course he would not do something wrong, and then God still coming to him and helping him. He would not do something wrong like marry his niece, and it's wrong. That's what y'all not looking at. Y'all thinking that y'all hyper holier than they was back then, or they had to have some flaws about them like they're today's people. They were in a different time, different stuff going on. They had more morale and stuff like that. Like you said, back in the day, man, we used to be like this. You know, back in the day, people used to get married in high school and be together for like 70, 80 years. They had more morale. So even if you go way, way back, come on, understand that people were holier, more pious. You know, you had your moments where people were wicked, but come on. But I just had to say that, yo. So y'all can know. My dick never went inside of anybody until I was 16 years old. Almost doesn't count. You know, pants rub doesn't count. I've never had my dick sucked by anybody in my family. I've only sucked pussy. So that's why Samantha's so crazy. Because she missed me sucking her pussy. Even with the pissy taste. Fuck the pissy taste. Just suck the pussy. Make it feel good. Don't stop until she want to stop. That's how I was doing it. Why? Because I was taught by my cousin Carlise that this is what we're supposed to do. So yes, it burnt a stain inside of Samantha doing that. You know, it also burnt the stain inside of Carlise, me doing that, sucking her breasts and stuff. It burns into your soul a connection, you know? And when you see that person, it burns to see them because of what used to happen, what used to transpire. That's why I said we must talk about this when we get older and more mature. But when I talked to Samantha, I said we got to be more careful about our younger cousins to make sure they don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that I'm mending the wound, but it's like we need to really, really talk. But if you're going to come always aggressive, it's not because you can't sit down and talk. You don't want to talk. Why? Because you know I'm going to apologize like I apologized already and try to make it right. Because you're with, you know, you got a husband. You know, we left the past behind us. We moving on. We didn't know any better. We're growing up. We know him better. You know what I'm about to say. You still want your pussy sucked. You don't care. So it's like, that's the only thing. So please don't be mistaken, everybody. You got Samantha with her grizzly voice getting into your vibrational brain cells, making you believe her about raise this and raise that, and he's a molester. No, it's just I was sucking her pussy, and she liked it so much she didn't want me to stop. So every time I would spend the night, she would always try to get me to suck her pussy, and I would do it. Why? Because I'm always thinking about Carlise. I gotta make her proud. I gotta, you know, she's a big kid. She know what she talking about. This is what we supposed to do, so I'm gonna do it. You know, so I'm doing it because we supposed to. If I was taught by an adult or given sex education by an adult, I would have stopped. But I never was given. God had to tell me. So I hope that floats your boat. Yes, with Selena it's a little different because with Selena, I always look, like I said, I got to bring it back to Selena because I can feel the energy coming from her. I can feel the energy. I always looked at her like a daughter. You know, it's my goddaughter. But she didn't look at me like a godfather. Maybe she did look at me like a father, but it started turning into relationship energy. You know, like she wanted intimacy. She wanted kisses and sex and stuff like that. Not, you know, she wanted pants rub. She turned it to pants rub energy. And I'm like, Selena, what the heck, girl? So now that she's older, she's graduated, high school, she's in college. She did voice her opinion. She let Simone know one day when Simone was taking me to the dentist. She was trying to graduate to become, I forgot. It's a sect of the dentistry. So like you're a dentist, but it's a certain kind of job you have within the dentistry career path. And I forgot what it was called, orthodontist or something like that. I forgot what it's called. But I was getting the teeth cleaning by her. But before I got the teeth cleaning, she's gonna take it out on me, trying to hurt my teeth and my gums and stuff, all because when she dropped Selena off at school one time, Selena's singing a song, but instead of saying Bay, she's saying Ray. But she's saying Bay, but she's saying it to where you know she's saying me. So I'm like, Simone was like, oh, for real, Selena? For real, it's like that? She got grizzly. Oh, all right. It's like that now, huh? You just gonna sing the song like that? Simone was crazy. Pop eyes. Simone have always been the number one defensive lineman when it came to, you know, the football team. She blocked every person that ever came across my path when we were growing up and stuff, from Adina to Sasha to whoever. She was the number one blocker. They could never like me or nothing. So she was always blocking and stuff. You know, Samantha too, blocking and fighting the friends and stuff. So it even happened with Selena. Oh, all right, Selena. Like, Selena is not part of the family. Like, she could not like me or love me or something like that. So Selena tried her. She wanted to see. Because Selena and I know that it's Selena that wants me. I'm not wanting Selena in the way that Selena wants me. Selena wants to be intimate. She want to hug and kiss and sex and get pregnant. And she want me to suck her pussy and all that. But I know this. Everybody else don't. So Selena tried Simone. And she sung the song. And Simone spazzed out. To let Simone know that, you know, it's me, not Ray. You always blaming Ray, but it's just me. I never done anything with Selena. Selena was trying to do stuff to me. I just was pushing her off, you know, trying to keep it strict. But she never would listen. So Selena, as she grew up, still felt the same way. And finally told Simone. So Simone want to take it out on me and all of my gums with the dentist tools and stuff. I'm like, dang, Simone, I'm just saying, you know, you got to clean it out nice and good, making it hurt and stuff. Like, dang, that's the worst pain, is dentist pain in your gums and stuff. So that's how Simone knew. So Simone had ended up becoming jealous of Selena. So Simone, she took it out on me. I was always jealous of you, bruh. But really was saying she was always jealous of Selena. That's why she was just jealous of Selena. Because I was closer to Selena than Simone, because they became aggressive and they became just real distant. And they stopped. It was because I came out of the military, and then when I was 19 years old, and I had got what they call it, like I had got affected by the injections that they gave me in the military, and it started affecting my brain and stuff. So I had episodes and seizures sometimes. So I would be in a hospital a lot of times. So when I came back home from the military, I came from the hospital from Virginia, and they picked me up, and they was afraid to talk to me anymore. So I was like, why you gonna act like that? At least I could tell y'all what's going on with me. But they wouldn't even sit down and let me talk to them about what was going on with me. They just was like, I don't know, man, Ray crazy now, because, you know, they treated me like I was crazy, but I just went in the military. But you're not thinking like some Captain America type shit was really happening to us. You pull this guy up that's super brave, jump on the grenade, but it was a dud. They put him in a machine, injected him. He come out extra buff. Now he Captain America. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? It was some stuff really like that happening. You thinking I went down the street. I went into the real military where stuff like that happened. You know, so you're not thinking it happened to me. But if I try to tell you, you would understand that's what happened to me. They super soldiered us. They injected us with super soldier serums and all kind of stuff, that enhancements and stuff like that. And I got fucked up from the enhancements that they were giving us. So it fucked my brain up, and it was fucking me up. So yes, man. Yeah, super soldier bullcrap. And you're not thinking that's what's happening to your cousin. But you're not talking to him. It's making it worse. And that was when we was 19. Selena was still a baby. And from that time, we never could talk like we used to. So then I ended up spending time with Selena. Selena just gravitated, and that's what it was. That's why I stopped talking to Simone and Samantha like that, you know? But it's crazy, man. So yeah, man. That's all y'all really, really needed to know. Is that what is the chart, the incest chart? So I gotta make a chart for you so you can know the incest chart, not just having sex, marriage. Also, you need to know that the first time my dick ever went inside of anything of a woman, I was 16. So I lost my virginity at 16 to a girl named J. Tiani Davis. All right? Everything else was pants rub. You just don't know what the fuck you're doing. And I stopped at a certain point in my life because I was given a eureka moment that this is wrong to do. So I stopped doing it. And I was never taught sex education by any adults or parents. When I got to high school, they didn't even give us sex education. They just passed out condoms in the nursing building, in the nursing office. So you go to the nursing office, you get some lifestyle condoms, safe sex. They don't teach you nothing. They just give you, oh, take some condoms, and you walk out, got a bunch of condoms. You know, Jade like, oh, you got some condoms? Yeah, I got some condoms from the nursing office. Oh, all right. And we have sex with the lifestyle condoms from the nursing office in the high school. You don't get no sex education. You know? So please understand, man. When you have an innocent child trying to find their way, no mother, no father, you know, I had a guardian, so I was grateful for that. I had love and obligation from him. But it stopped at some point. You know, and he said, I'm not your father. So it stopped. The love stopped. But I didn't have a mother either to tell me anything really. You know? Details, accuracy. And so it looks as though I was this bad child, but really I was an obedient child. I did everything I was told to do by the big kids. You know, you're supposed to suck pussy. You're supposed to suck titties. Yeah, your cousin. I'm your cousin. You're supposed to. So when I saw Simone and Samantha, oh, they might come and suck their pussy and titties and stuff. I'm going to pants rub them. Like Akira and this. Brian, we going to pants rub. With Brian and I, we actually got married in the Bible playing house. Like, we playing house, but we getting married in the Bible with our hands on the Bible, for real. So to this very day, could I return to Brian after all of these years? What kind of feelings and emotions do she have? Like, can we really talk like adults? Can we really talk like mature people? You know, and really like hash out things, knowing that we're older, especially me. I'm a rabbi now. So I know I know the details of what God wants and what God doesn't want. I never strayed from the path. I just learned as I went and started. Now I really know what I'm supposed to do. What's actually right and wrong, not just church tales and stuff. You know, because grandma said it's wrong is wrong, or because they're older than us, so they know better. No, I actually know what God says if it's right or wrong, so I can actually help things get into better perspective, so that I could tell Miss Joy, like, actually, Miss Joy, according to the Torah, me being in my position of a rabbi. According to the Torah, the scriptures, God said is actually okay to do. Now, the thing was that we did it wrong. We did it out of context. You could have still stayed married to my father, and I could have married Brian, but we needed to get permission from y'all. It's not incest because we're not blood related. It's still in-law. We just kept it in the family, but it was in-law. So if I marry Brian, it's looked at just like that, you know, in-laws. So we was not out of context. We were not guilty of doing what we were doing. We just thought we were guilty. We thought we were wrong. So we were repenting for things that we were not actually supposed to repent for. You know, we just did not know what we were doing. You know, ignorant. So a happy home could have stayed a happy home if only we knew what we were doing. So that's something I could say to Miss Joy, you know, and also Simone and Samantha. If I knew, I could have just married y'all instead of just feeling like I was like wrong. With my sister Sophie, that was wrong. That was just definitely wrong. It was like time to stop. We doing too much. Brian not here no more. Glenn not here no more. We still want to keep trying to carry the same stuff. We got to stop. So it was more like with her, yeah, definitely. We got to stop. Pants rub, got to stop right there. and we getting older, too old and stuff for all of this. But everybody else, okay, you know. And one stupid moment I had, and I was dumb. So that's more like I'd rather talk about that personally because the world is different today. So I'd rather talk about that personally, you know, and be like, yeah, man, what the fuck? I just woke up out my sleep and I just was like a zombie just doing something and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It was Madden 93 was out. We was playing Madden 93 like it was a brand new Madden 93 had I think just came out or it came out or Madden 94 was out, but we was playing Madden 93 on Sega Genesis. And we had Streets of Rage 3 had just came out. That's what happened. Streets of Rage 3 just came out. So it's just things that need to be hashed out and talked out. We were young, man. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing, but all of us being young together, we can seem to know what the fuck we was doing. We can seem to assume that we knew better, but we really didn't. It's more like, yo, what did you experience, or how did you learn this and learn that? Knowing we didn't have internet and shit. Like, how did you? Well, the big kids, I mock, and then you hear the story. You have to do that with us. How did you know to do that? Because I didn't get it off TV. I didn't get it from the internet or nothing. It was a elder that exposed me to it, or I got exposed by some elder doing something and I saw it was all that. It had to be that, So-and-so was watching HBO at night and they was having a little show and I was watching it with so-and-so. And they was like, go to sleep. And they thought I was asleep, but I wasn't asleep and I was peeking. So I saw some sex. Stuff like that, Stuff like, yeah, man. It's crazy. You just got to marry your cousin, Yeah, man. You have to marry them. You're supposed to. I don't want to keep going through it, but I'll make charts and things like that whenever I get the time to. That's my story. If you must know. About Samantha Simone getting aggressive, talking about he need to die and all this. It was not even that crazy. It's not a thing worthy of death at all. It's not rape. It's not molestation. We was just playing house. We had the tents up, and Samantha just mad that she got to be the daughter, and me and Simone is the mother and father, and we pants rubbing, and I'm not pants rubbing Samantha. But Samantha would always try to get her pussy licked by me every night when it's real late night and we sleep, and I'm sleep on the floor. She'll roll right over, come over, and I would suck her pussy, and not thinking it's wrong, just thinking it's a private matter. That's just between us, but you're not thinking it's wrong to do, so you keep doing it. You're not telling anybody. I'm not telling anybody, and it just keep happening. And so, like I said, when I wanted to stop, they wanted to keep going, and so that's the only reason Samantha's mad. Y'all not thinking that that's what it is with Samantha. You thinking it's like Ray got this problem. Like, but you look at Ray like, yo, something different about Ray. It's just not giving off those type of vibes. Like, I grew up. You not thinking that I was lied to. You thought I watched the internet? I was watching something on the internet? Wasn't no internet. So what? Yeah, Carlise. So yeah, like I said, if I could turn back time, I would marry Carlise because she was the first person. I would marry her, or Akira. I would marry either Carlise or Akira because they were the first. Akira was the first pants rub experience. Carlise was the first actual suck my titties and my nipples and suck my pussy experience when I taste the pee and stuff. But in my grown adult mind, I'm more aggressive about it, like wanting to do it now because I know I can marry them. But they're married. So when I went to see Carlise, she was like, "That's my husband right there." I'm like, "Oh, all right." So I left it alone. I was burning like a motherfucker. Mad, burning, wanting to, bend her over and get her pregnant, bust the heart. There's nothing inside of her pussy and mouth. I wanted to just be aggressive, so I want to want her to deep throat my dick and all that. So that's what I want to do to Carlise, but I didn't. I just burnt, and I handled the burn real well. Like, oh, that's her husband. I respected marriage more than my burn. So I was like, oh, that's your daughter, that's your son, and that's your husband. Oh, I'm forgetting that we live in life. So I was like, okay, so I let it go. Walked over to her husband, dapped him up. How you doing, man? What's up, man? Sorry about that. You running up on your wife like that. It's my cousin and stuff. But she did make it known. She was like, I'm still the oldest. I'm still the oldest. What she's saying to me. I'm still the oldest. Well, I don't care about that. You still the oldest. I still, suck the shit out your pussy. But then she's like, my husband right there. I'm like, oh, so I dap him up. My bad, man. And then her children and, but her daughter was looking at me like, is that my real father? That's how she was looking at me, like, I wonder if this is my real father or not. So I walked away and I left. But Dorian and Wayne was like, they knew. I'm like, where Carlise at? I'm like, why are you looking for? Cause what? Don't ask. They didn't even really ask me why I'm looking for Carlise. I'm like, where Carlise at? They was like, she right over there. I'm like, all right, so I walk over there. They knew what it was. So it was crazy, man. So you're not knowing certain players, key players, things that happened in my own little life that made me believe certain things. Like I said, my guardian, who's Teresa Pre, she told me, if you have sex for the first time, make sure it's the special woman because it's gonna hurt, and you know you're gonna bleed and stuff like that. She said, I'm gonna bleed, I'm gonna hurt. So I'm believing that I'm gonna put my dick inside of a woman and my dick gonna start bleeding and it's gonna start hurting me. So I'm like, oh man, I don't want to do it because I want my dick to start bleeding and stuff. So that's what I'm thinking. So lies, deceptions, wrong teachings. Instead of just say nothing or say, say the right thing, I'm being lied to. Your imagination fake. All kind of stuff. I'm being told and stuff by her, and you believe in them because they're the only source of information that you have. You not going to books and encyclopedias or internet or somebody to talk about this. You're going to your parents, the people, your elders that you're supposed to respect, and they respect you to tell you the right thing, the right way to go. So yes, in our time, a lot of elder people misguided us, not the internet. And also school, because you went to school, you had the textbook that told you that Egyptian people was white. So yeah, if you had that textbook, yeah. It was probably what I think I Can Bit by Bit Sketches, one of those books that had white people in the textbooks and stuff like that. So you thinking Egyptians and African people is white. It's crazy. Anyway, same with Moses and Jesus. Oh, they white people, so that's what you're thinking. But outside of that, your parents, your elders tell you stuff like that. So no, you don't judge a child in our day. In our day, you didn't judge a child. You had to judge the parents. Because the parents are the ones that made it available for the children to get to things. That's why, like, if a rated R movie said rated R, it was easy to find out. It was easy to say, oh, this movie is rated R. Y'all can't watch this. And you know that you can keep the children from actually watching it. They'll never, ever be able to see it unless you leave it available for them to see it. So it was easier to be more restrictive on the children, us being limited in our ability to get to things and see things and stuff like that. So that's how you knew if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, if you were a certain type person, or you was like a pants rub type person, or you was a playhouse child and you did a lot of pants rub stuff, that you was taught that by an elder kid. So yeah, my cousin Samantha liked to try to hyper paint it. No, it was not molestation, because it takes two to tango. If it had happened once and she'd have told on me. But she loved the way her pussy felt when I was sucking it so hard with the pee taste and all that. She just held my head. She kept holding my head down. She would never let me stop sucking her pussy. That's all it is. So y'all need to get it in your head. And she never sucked my dick. Nobody in the family ever sucked my dick. Not even in the pants rub era. Okay? So I'm not feeling good. They are. So get it straight. That's why she's so aggressive like that. But it's not worth me dying because she want her pussy sucked to feel good. No. So you trying to kill me because you want your pussy sucked? The fuck? But with Selena, I can aggressively now openly say that I would marry Selena. But I'm so older, I still have a hard time with it. But not so much, but still I have a hard time with it. But I would, because how things happen, how things were, and I feel like to make it right with Selena, also with the metaphysical encounters we've had, two metaphysical encounters where we sleep in the same bed. She even did a play about it. Like she did a play in her school play about like what is you doing on the stage? Like you on the stage dancing and stuff. Then you hop in the bed and then the kids push the bed into the. I'm like, what the hell kind of play is this? Then I'm realizing it. Oh, she talking about the dream. And the dream was a metaphysical encounter where we was in a dark forest. Like on the show Wednesday. We went to dark forest, and there's a bed in the middle of the forest. Why is there a bed, a comfortable mattress and bed in the middle of the forest, and we laying on it, and Selena's just kissing me, and I'm kissing her back, and we were together. And I'm like, what the hell kind of dream was this? But the sensory level on the scale of 1 to 10 was like about a 7.58. And Kimura was just standing in the middle of darkness over there somewhere, just doing nothing. Like, but she see us in the bed together, you know? And that's what she was trying to tell her mother, and that's what she was trying to tell her brother on the phone while she laid, when my Aunt Rhea was like getting the house prepared so she could move out, and then Kimura leaves where I was laying at. She's trying to tell them, like, well, this is what's going on. So they're trying to really tell, like, how they really feel about me. Is, you know. But with Selena and I, it became like that when she was 3 years old, man. And I shouldn't have given a second chance to my ex-wife, Tanika. I should have just sucked Selena pussy. I should have sucked the pussy, had sex with her, and stayed with her. Went to work, came home from work, and take care of her. I should have just did that. Go to work, come home from work, take care of her, and kept doing cable. Kept sucking her pussy, kept having sex with her. And marry her. Help her go through school, finish school, and marry her. That's what I should have done. You know? She's in high school. Or graduating high school, whatever the case. I should have. But I didn't. You know? I wasn't that type of person. You know? But like I said, Selena's the aggressor. She's the one giving it to me. And I should have taken it. I should have received it. Because I was in the basement sad. You know? My ex-wife, Tanika, leaving me and stuff. I should have just went with Selena. And held on. So, yeah, man, I sound crazy, right? I sound crazy. But because I know what's right and wrong, I sound crazy now. But I know I don't really sound crazy. I know I'm saying what's right. Y'all just don't know what's right and wrong. Some people just be incestuous, or people thinking they being incestuous, but they really not. You'll have sex with your cousins and stuff, going real crazy, and don't tell nobody. You know, be like, but you're not wrong. Just got to stay with her. Marry her. That's all it really is. The marriage part. That's all it really is. And I'm polygynous. I believe in having more than one wife, as the scriptures say. You know, Jacob had 4 wives, and they all were his cousins. So yeah, I believe in having more than one wife. You know, that is part of the Torah. It is not a sin to have. I mean, I'm not going to hell for having more than one wife, because it's not adultery for a man like it is for a woman, for him to have more than one wife. If she had more than one dick, then yeah, that's adultery for her, because you don't want many different sack packages in your vagina. You don't know what's going to grow out of that. You know, you put like potatoes, carrots, blueberries in one hole. You know, you don't, you know, all different types of seed sack packages in one hole is going to grow to be a monster. But for a man, there's only one seed planted in different types of soil, so you're going to know what you're going to get every time. So that's why it's different, you know, for men and women. Also to prove the hierarchy and things like that. But neither here nor there. That's my apology to Selena, but also my information to the other cousins that's in the family. So now that you know that you can, y'all need to start talking. Like other cousins in the family, like DJ and Naija. DJ and Naija need to come together and get married. Talk, get married, be together. You don't need all that dumb mess. But if you already in a relationship, okay, fine. You know, but it's like, yo, you don't need to be what y'all thinking. Like, I think even it was, give me a minute. Yeah, I think it was even, I seen a picture where Keyshawn and Naija was in the bed together. Keyshawn and Naija. So what? You want to be with Naija? Be with Naija. But you want to be with your girlfriend you got now? Be with her too. You can have more than one wife. You just got to know the proper ways to do things. When you don't know and you think that, you know, you don't know, you think it's wrong. Because you're not following God. You think God is a crutch. You don't want to follow the Bible. That Bible mess is old, and who the white man wrote it and all that. No, the white man fucked it up. But it's the original way. We just got to untwist it, unfuck it up. But it's the way to go if you know. So if you knew that, yeah, you can marry Naija and you can marry your girlfriend you got now. But it's a bad look, I guess, at first for everybody that Keyshawn, you know, Silva is in the picture with Naija and they together in the bed together, and now he, you know, okay, whatever. You know, I don't look at it like that because, like I said, I know better. I know better than everybody else, so I'm not looking at it like everybody else is looking at it. That's why I asked Victoria Gibson. I said, "You want to get married?" And she got fucked up. Like, everybody don't believe in the Bible like you do. That's how she hit me. Everybody don't believe in the Bible like you do. I'm like, all right, man, whatever, on my face. And then click. But it left a burn. I know it did, left a stain, like, okay, like, because I got mad that she didn't accept my offer. But it was more like, all right, fine, if you don't believe me, fine. You don't believe me, I'm going to keep it pushing. But it's like, at least I got it out the way, so now if I move on, you can't get mad. Because I asked you first. You should just take it into consideration. Oh, let me see what you're talking about. The Bible, let me crack it open and see what you're saying. Tell me more, like, really, like, get a second opinion or something like that, Well, he said, da-da-da-da-da, all that. Instead of just completely shut me out. Maybe I could have been telling you something that was right. You thinking I'm crazy in the head for asking you that, But so you can get emotional the wrong way. You can get aggressive the wrong way, thinking that you're getting rid of a sinful person when really I'm the rabbi. I teach the Bible for a living. It's not wrong. You're wrong. If you compared me to you and you put me in the same standards of sin and transgression, you need a source. So you're getting mad and you're saying I'm wrong, but where's your source of saying that I'm wrong? Then I'll bring my source out of saying that I'm right and you're wrong for saying that I'm wrong. You got to bring your source with you. That's what everybody's doing. Just saying shit, but you're not proving shit. You're just emotional. Styrofoam anger. So then you try to react and fuck me up physically for some styrofoam shit. Some emotional shit that you're not proving. You have no source or anything. Mommy said mommy never cracked the Bible ever. So how mommy know anything? Ray know the Bible left and right. So he definitely gonna know. And then it's not just me knowing it. I could pull it out and help you know it too. You see me writing Hebrew and all this stuff, so I know what I'm talking about. I didn't waste my life. So it's like that, But that's what happened when family don't talk for a long, long time. Last time I talked to my family genuinely was when I was 19. So, yeah, when you don't talk for a long... And I'm 40 years old now. So when you don't talk for a long time, you forget who the person is, And it become a stranger. So then you don't want them around anymore. And you never think in your heart that I need to get to know him because I stopped talking to him for such a long... you never think that. You never think that. You'd be surprised what you might hear. Maybe it's things that you don't want to say or share. Who knows? We grow up, we change, we're all growing up together. You're getting older, I'm getting older too. You got stories, I got stories too. We can share wisdom and knowledge and experiences. And, but it shouldn't result in us disconnecting. But that's what I would say about Simone and Samantha. They're the ones that led the whole family and rejected me about this fake molestation thing. Oh, he used to molest me. I want to hear that bullshit. You never saying when you roll off the fucking bed begging me to suck your pussy. But you never suck my dick ever. Like, the fuck? It don't feel good to suck pissy ass pussy. It tastes like pee. The fuck? It's no pleasure in that. It's pleasure for you. So I'm doing it because it's for you. So how the fuck you turn a molestation situation into you just wanting your pussy sucked because I was taught that that's what we supposed to do, and I'm fully believing that's what we supposed to do. You not even asking me why I'm doing that shit, or where did I get it from? How did I learn it? And I'm fully wholeheartedly believing this is what I'm supposed to do to you. I'm not feeling guilty at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? Then I go get my backpack, my book bag, and I go to fucking school. Elementary school lunch ticket shit. Like, the fuck? So it's like, yo, we're all stupid, yo, when you don't know, when you're not taught, and you're just told things by your grown adults, big kids, not grown adults, but big kids and stuff, and tell you stuff, and you'll do stuff. They can get you in trouble. You can't do what they do, or so wrong, and you don't snitch either back in the day. You ain't telling on the big kids. You better not tell nobody. Okay. That's how it used to be. Everybody understand that. The fuck is y'all acting brand new like y'all exclusive or some shit to the, you know what I'm saying? And you talking about we playing house. You already know playing house is pants rub activity. Pants rub time. The fuck? But we taking a nap, but we pants rubbing too before we take the nap. Then we gonna take the nap in the tent that we made with all the sheets and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, yo. Let me let it go. All right.